Hi, Adam Bazalgette here, founder of Scratch Golf Academy. Today's subject, the easiest putting tip you'll ever hear. Well, certainly what we're going to talk about is if you generate the stroke from the correct part of your body, you are going to find that your stroke is much more repeatable and easy. Even then, though, you've got to get your setup locked in. We'll talk about that. And at the end, we'll look at maybe some practice habits I think will help you put it all into place. Briefly, if you're new to this channel, would love it if you'd subscribe, help us build momentum. Also hit the bell there. You'll be notified every time a brand new video is coming your way. Go to the App Store as well, pick up the Scratch Golf Academy app. Lots of training tools I know you'd enjoy it, including Putting Tempo Trainer. Great stuff for working on your putting. Okay, so where should the putting stroke be generated from? Well, you have to customize it, and here's how I want you to do it. I'm going to suggest, we're talking the body, don't use the tip of the shoulders. I don't think that's advantageous. Body tends to toggle around. Sure, if you pivot your body, your shoulders will move, but pick something more interior, and I want you to try it like this. Get a putting posture, put your hands like so. Pretend it's a fairly long putt, 30 or 40 feet, keeping your head nice and still. Back and forth you go with the sort of body motion you think would work, not this sort of stuff, up and down. And what I want you to do as you keep moving, without thinking about what you're doing, just start to notice, where do you feel that? Do you feel it in your flanks, in your back? Some people might feel it more in their abs or chest. I've talked to some of the best putting instructors in the world. Different great players that they teach feel it differently. The thing is, it works for you. It's what instinctively you start to notice. Then hit a few putts, and when you hit those putts, don't think about move my back or my stomach. Just make a good robust stroke with passive hands and see if to you get the same general sensation. Well, here's a quick anecdote to display my point. It's something I'll always remember. I was doing a corporate event with David Leadbetter years ago when I worked for him. Wonderful event. Flew up to Wingfoot on a plane. Charles Howe was on the plane. He's the best guy. It was fun talking to him. But anyway, I'm teaching this guy on the putting green, this banker. He's a decent player. He's got an okay looking stroke. Cannot seem to get his long putts to the hole. I'm doing my best to help him. Doesn't seem to be helping that much. David walks over. Of course, he can't wait to listen to what David Leadbetter has to say. So I step aside, gave him a brief lesson that made all the difference, and it really stuck with me. What he said was, what David told him was, he said, look, you're generating your stroke. It's a nice stroke, too much from the arms. The farther from the club head, think of all the way up the club head, the arms down into the core. The farther from the club head you generate the stroke, the more force you will apply. And next thing you know, this guy's got some energy here. His arms don't look any different, and these balls are just jumping off the club. They're popped a lot harder with the same size stroke. Made a huge difference to him. Okay, the good body motion's great, but it has to affect the club, and that's why you have to really lock that in, so what you're doing in your body has such a definitive effect on the golf club. We're going to call them the putting locks, out of deference to my good short game friend, great short game teacher and good friend Eric Kaplan. That's, I think, the title of his book, but he got some great material on that. Here's the three things I want you to pay attention to. Get that shaft more in line with your forearms at address. Don't grip it down in the fingers and create an angle. Much more stable when it's in line with your forearms. Secondly, let your arms retract and pull in and crimp a little bit until your ribs are touched up against your triceps like that. Not jammed up, but just touching. That really stabilizes that. And while you're doing that, relax those shoulders. Let them retract a little bit back to your spine. Then your body motion will affect your putt a lot more than if your shoulders get up like this. And finally, try for a nice athletic stance. Once I've shortened my arms, hey, I've got to feel pretty athletic getting over that. I should feel some firmness and athletic tension in my legs. So now I'm locked in. Let's see how we do. Misread it a little bit. Lock that setup and it'll help. Okay, let's talk about practice. Let me give you 3 tips I think will really help you put this into your game here. And before I say that, below this video is a link to my 3-part video series, Short Game Secrets. Really nice in-depth short game course. It's free. Hope you go down and check that out and pick it up for yourself. 3 tips. Number 1, get used to your setup before you go to the putting green. Use the mirror. Use the Pro Shop door if it has a glass front and it's like a mirror. Just get used to it. It's not difficult, but you want to get on the green and not be thinking about that. And don't just get used to it, check it periodically as well. Second thing, don't putt to a hole initially when you're doing this. It is so distracting to people. The outcome, you'd be amazed how hard it is for people to feel things when all they care about is does the ball go in the hole. It's not going to help you to make a putt on the putting green anyway. Number 3, routinely between strokes. Work these pivots again, get the feel, and when you go to putt, don't overthink it. Don't try to mimic that and force it. Just relax, hit your putt, and start to notice if you're feeling the same thing. You do these things, you put these into practice, it is really going to make your putting much more efficient, much more simple. Hope this video helps you.